Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of From Ibiza with Love. I'm Mariana.
I'm Sandra.
And we wanted today to share our story, how this whole journey started. So happy 2-year anniversary, my friend. I think it's about 2 years ago that we met in the spring on this island. Little story about how this all came to be. I was supposed to fly out from the island. I technically missed my flight, but I was there. I was checked in. I'm dropping off my luggage. And they tell me, oh, miss, but your flight's not today. I'm like, what do you mean? I have a flight from Barcelona in a few hours. And here's my boarding pass. And they tell me, yes, but this is for next month. So I double checked this. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I booked it. Well, okay, the island wants me to stay. So
yeah.
I went to Seven Pines, which is one of my favorite places. And then the next morning, actually, I did a test to the universe to tell the truth. I went back to the car rental place. I still had a day on my car rental. And I'm like, if they give me the car back, it's a sign that I'm meant to stay. I shouldn't be leaving yet. And they're like, actually, yes. And we just washed it and here are your keys back. I'm like, okay, off I go to Seven Pines. And the next morning I go, I think it was first like a meditation class. And then I saw you at breakfast. And then the second class, it was again, just you and me. And after I was like, oh, how long are you here for? Like, nice to meet you if you need any advice about the island. And that's how our friendship started.
Yeah, and it's so funny how it all involved because it was my first time on the island and I felt like I was guided to Ibiza because I was like on this yoga festival in the mountains in Verbier, met this super inspirational yoga teacher from Ibiza, followed her.
Oh, wow.
And then I sat in the middle of the winter in a coffee place called Arctic Juice in Verbier and it suddenly played the Ibiza Blue Marlin playlist. I'm like, okay, I think I have to really go to this island. And I literally only booked the first 3 nights at Seven Pines, and this is where we met. So
yeah. On your last night?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you were like on the third day, yeah.
and
I was planning
together.
Okay, I'm going to stay a couple more days, and then you're like, I'm here for another week. I'm like, I think I can do another week and show you around the right places. But it's kind of crazy now, no? Like we have a good friend and client of mine from Miami, and it's his first time on the island, and we've all been having a blast together too. And like yesterday, he was telling me, I love it so much. I'm going to definitely come back for more time, soon or next year at the latest. So it's cool and interesting that it transcends age. It transcends like practically everything. And especially all the ideas that you have about the island. He's like, if this was properly advertised, it would be even way more popular. Yeah. No one tells you about the nature and the hiking.
The nightclubs, I don't know.
Right. And then last year you brought me back because it was your birthday and I had so many things going on in Miami. And I'm like, I don't think I can pull this off. And I'm like, if I can manage all these things in the next 5 days, then I think I can make it. And this thing will just work itself out, align without me. And it did. And we had such a blast. Yes, Theo, you too. You love it here, right? I wanted to ask you because you came from like a very corporate world. Also, my client was quite impressed. He's like, she's in the same sphere as I used to be. And it's a small world there. And so you were working for a very large company that's super corporate. And now I find like what's really inspiring about our friendship that you're so intuitive. And I think we're quite different as how we're wired, but I always learn so much from you and you give me such good guidance sometimes that I really appreciate that. So tell me, how did you go from that to being so really aligned with yourself, I think?
Yeah, it's an interesting story actually, because when I think back to when I did my master's studies, like my intention back then was to get the best possible job in strategic marketing. That was my dream. And then I went to this recruiting event to Procter & Gamble. First, I just wanted to practice interviews and assessment center. And little did I know that that was the best company that you could start with in marketing, basically. Yeah. And 1 month later, I started there and I was responsible for a big cleaning brand in Europe.
You kept Europe clean?
Yeah, kind of.
This is pre-COVID?
I mean, as if so Switzerland is already pretty clean. Yeah, and on this journey, it also brought me to Switzerland, which I'm super grateful for. I moved back to the lake, which I feel so much more attuned with myself, the water as an element.
Yeah.
And after like 5 years, I changed to a company called Veleda. They are the market leader in biocosmetics. And it was amazing to me because I always said, once I leave Procter & Gamble, which already is a pretty good company and you learn a lot, the people are really amazing and the culture, I want to work for a truly sustainable company. And there was this job offer from Veleda that I figured really value-wise, there's only very few companies in this world that have sustainability at their roots of the founding, which is now over 100 years ago. So that brought me already on a new trajectory, I would say, in my career. And
so you kind of fell into wellness.
In wellness, but also, I mean, it's twofold. The values of the company and the more the anthroposophic way of doing things also allows for more spirituality, I would say.
Yeah.
So it gave me the space to do so, but at the same time, I also came from a, let's say, American company that's very attuned to like efficacy and, you know, just doing more, better, greater, to a company where I was given so much trust from day one by my manager. So I could lead really with my own values and very differently. And that for me was one of the biggest blessings. And it was also the beginning of the journey to what you said is like to tuning into more with my intuition. I did a yoga teacher training on the side, and that brought me on the whole trajectory of actually wanting to understand how I can tap into my intuition with different techniques, being that meditation or theta level, like music. And not just that, I really believe also that using your intuition in the workplace is such a powerful gift, and it's also part of leading with more feminine qualities, meaning doing the right things rather than just working the hours and achieving your goals like that. And it was for me amazing to see how it works, because the business results and the results of our teams and the feedback I received were so great that I felt like this is how I want to work and not any different, basically.
Right. So girl power.
Not girl power necessarily, but like being like,
no, I'm
almost
joking,
like
of course, yeah.
Receiving guidance from within and knowing what's the right thing to do. And that also allowed my team members to do the same. And
did you guys do meditations as part of your...
Yeah, actually, we did sometimes in our daily check-ins. We had different themes everyone could suggest. So sometimes we meditated, or especially before creative meetings where there were many stakeholders with different opinions. We started experimenting with some meditation that was opening up, you know, your brain and your mental space. And the results were so powerful. People were much more open-minded and not rejecting every idea for small things right away. So, yeah.
And I remember you said like you were afraid of the yoga teacher training because you had some shoulder pain.
Yeah, I actually, like a few weeks before teacher training, I injured my shoulder in like a HIIT workout.
Oh, wow.
And then I was really scared because I booked this yoga teacher training. I really wanted to do it, and I felt it was exactly the right moment to do it as well for me. And I was like, what if I can't do it because I'm in so much pain? So I took all the painkillers with me. I did physiotherapy before and I was still in pain. But then after I told
You're brave to go.
You know, I just felt like I need to do that now. And what it turned out was also amazing, because I told the teachers before I have this injury, and they really took time deliberately to show me the asanas and adjustments, how I do it exactly in the right alignment, which is the power of the right alignment in the yoga is so much that after a few days, I had barely any pain. And after the 3 weeks of the teacher training, I was pain-free.
So you healed yourself?
So it really feels like I healed myself. Together with, we had a vegan diet, which was mainly coming from the garden of the hotel. So I suggest highly anti-inflammatory. So that together with the yoga asanas in alignment really healed my shoulder.
The feeling that you had that's the right time, I guess you knew instinctively that this would help you more than anything else.
Well, not even that. So, but what happened is that right after COVID hit, and actually when I was flying back, I came right into lockdown. It felt like from 3 weeks of Bali, like secluded away. And then suddenly I come back home and the world has changed completely. And the fun thing is that while I was there on Bali, I was like, oh, I wish I could just live my life in the future in yoga pants too. And then,
oh my gosh, you wish for COVID.
No. But little did I know that when I come back, there's home office and actually I could work in yoga pants. But the beauty of it was that it gave me the time in the mornings that I could continue with my daily yoga practice and add meditation as well to it. Plus, it also helped me through COVID mentally a lot.
Yeah.
I know that it was many people were struggling. To be honest, for me, it was a gift.
Wow.
Like everything slowing down and me having the space to establish this routine for myself that I kept ever since.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that because I go in and out and I do like meditations, I do yoga, but like in waves, and you're very consistent.
Yeah, and it's thanks to that.
I remember during our first week together, you also did like a coaching session for me. And at the time I was like, okay, fine, I'll go with anything. I'll give this a whirl. But like, I didn't really think much of it. And then, yes, you too, you weren't there, but that's okay. Then when I reread the questions and the answers, it really helped me understand a lot about myself and define the things that were kind of not bothering me, but I needed a little bit of guidance. And, having it written out, it helped me tremendously. So how do you do that? Because it was really cool and it felt like, okay, this is just a friendly, chat here. And then what came out of it was really very profound, at least for me. And I would think probably for a lot of people that you've done this with.
That's incredible to hear that now 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
And I think probably that's why we're here. Mostly because of that. So thank you, first of all. But also, how do you do it?
Well, I did a systemic coaching certification 2 years ago. First, the intention was to enhance my leadership skills and become a better leader for my team. But I also realized that the power of coaching and helping people to almost unleash their own power and their infinite possibilities is what really gives me energy. So I kept on doing more and more of that on the side of my main job. And I also started realizing how my spiritual journey, meditation, and the coaching started to merge. So I started experimenting with techniques that are almost manifesting and envisioning, meditating, and merge them into the coaching. And also having this access to my intuition in that moment with clients. It almost feels like the right questions in the right moment, they're just coming. And there's this, almost like this infinite presence between me and you, or me and the client in that case.
Theodore,
it makes me feel like that I am attuned to that person energetically, and that's how it just flows.
But I wanted to ask, for our viewers, what is your process? What is your method? Like, how do you accomplish these cool results for people? Mm-hmm. Like, is there something different that you do? Because a lot of people do coaching, but yours is quite a special technique, I would say.
So what I would say is special. I mean, there's still other people maybe doing similar, but special in the sense that I'm merging these two worlds. I'm coming from a corporate environment, so highly target and goal oriented, and I have that spiritual knowledge and spiritual side, and merging the two leads to the fact that I can catch people from where they are, even executives that come from a, very rational mind, and weave in more spiritual work without them noticing in the beginning and guiding them towards that. Like one very impressive example that I had, for example, it was a client. She was a lawyer, but she was very unhappy in her job. And she wanted to change career completely to something that she never had done before. And she neither had the education to do so. And we had one coaching session together. I must say we met in a yoga retreat before. So we had already a good established connection.
Yeah, we had a rapport.
And it felt like that in this coaching session, something magical happened. It was almost like, so I guided her in a visual, sensorial way in imagining she has that future job already that she wants. So I asked questions like how she feels that way, who is she surrounded with, what she smells. You can really catch all the senses. And I could feel she was totally in it. She was like feeling it already. And
you made her live her future life.
Yes.
Wow.
And 1 or 2 months later, she sent me a WhatsApp message and she told me like she just signed this contract of being the director of the art museum in Austria. And I'm like, this is incredible. Like from being a lawyer to becoming the director of an art museum.
With no education for it.
With no background in it. And one coaching session. I mean,
you're like a miracle worker.
I'm not promising that it's like that every single time, but that's like how powerful it can be when you have this presence, connection, and you merge the techniques of wanting to achieve a certain goal with some more spiritual practices.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so that was...
And do you do this often, or is it like very by demand? Like, how do people find you? Let's say,
well,
if they don't have the good fortune of meeting you randomly somewhere.
They find me online on Instagram.
Okay.
On Souluna.
Where?
We can tag that under the podcast in the notes. And via WhatsApp to make an appointment.
So what is your Instagram?
Souluna.
Okay.
So usually
like
soul and Luna. So it combines the sun and the moon, but also the soul in the moon. So the inspiration is for, this life where you are more in tune with nature and living more in tune with the sun and the moon cycle.
But I think a lot of people are seeking that. They're seeking balance. They're seeking, we're so corporate centered, but we also want to be part of a community and part of a circle of souls that understand the mission that we're here to do. And how to find harmony is not so easy because the world is much more, materialistic now than it's ever been. But we also want to return back to nature. So it's really cool how you combine that and how you can inspire others to do that.
Yeah, I can really feel that people, they have this desire to come back to themselves, to do something different in their lives. They don't know yet how and what, but I feel more and more people really feel the deep need to reconnect with their truth, with their essence. And this is where coaching is also so powerful, because in the end, we all have the solutions within.
Right.
We don't need someone to tell us what to do, but rather the guidance to reconnect with what we already know. And this is where I help, basically, where I facilitate.
I think it definitely is very beneficial if you have someone that guides you to find the answers that are maybe hidden inside of you, because it's different.
Yeah, and it also feels like it's coming from you, so you would rather accept the solution because you yourself found it.
Yes.
It's not like, this is what happens often when you read a book, you want to change a habit, and you think, great, I understood it, I want to do it. But then you're like 5 weeks later, okay, I read that book, but actually I didn't change anything. And that's like, habit change is so difficult for the majority of the people. It's more easy to stay in your rhythm that you're used to. The brain always wants to get back to what it's used to. And during coaching, you also really can work on step by step how you can implement these new routines or habits that you want in your life.
Would you say, Sandra, that by your methods, it's actually easier for people to find what they're looking for, because sometimes to change, like you said, it's not easy. It's rather difficult. It takes a lot of habit. It takes a lot of kind of dedication. So does your process kind of bring the light for a flow to go smoother?
Smoother. I mean, definitely, I would say with less suffering and faster, as if you were just to do it with yourself.
Right.
You can maybe achieve the same in other ways, but it will take you much longer, and probably you feel much more frustration. That doesn't mean that you're not
So it
going
is smoother.
through. Like, yeah, you have still phases where you're going through maybe some tough times, because you realize there's something in the past, from your childhood, from your upbringing, some beliefs that you want to let go of. And yes, that can be challenging. Right. I love to combine it for my clients with other spiritual practices, being that sound healing work or other somatic practices, because one thing is it arriving in, your consciousness that there's something you want to change, and unraveling it, like your subconscious beliefs. The other thing is the body has it stored in their cells. And this is really where somatic healing on different levels can accelerate the journey even more. So therefore, I also started actually doing
you started sound healing, right?
a training for sound healing. So I'm just at the beginning of it, but I feel it's just another puzzle piece, how I can help clients even more. I felt it on my own journey, how I've worked for so many years on myself. I let go of so many things that I wanted to, but somehow in some situations, it still felt like my brain is running the same patterns. I'm getting triggered, and I can't stop it right away. So this brought me on this journey of really wanting to release these emotions and energies from my body on a physical level.
I mean, sound healing is incredible as well.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many different versions of it. And you always have a different journey, different visions. Like sometimes it's super zen, sometimes it disrupts and helps you process what you need to process. Is there a certain type of sound bowls that you got certified, or like, do you do gongs? Do you do sound crystal bowls? Like, what is it that you want to, or you're now capable of doing?
Yeah, so I worked with these bowls. They're called crystal tone bowls, and they're a combination of different mineral stones or precious metals or sands in the world merged with some quartz into a mold.
Okay.
So there's many different bowls with different minerals, so you can choose which ones you feel most aligned with. And the power of the music is known to go really the frequency into your cells. But then having this frequency of these precious stones together with the sound,
it's next level.
It's like next level. And I really felt it. I did this training together with a friend at Liquid Light Healing. It's in Switzerland. It's amazing. And for the next days, after working with these bowls, we had so much energy. We slept so well. So we already felt really the magic of these bowls.
Yeah, I mean, crystals are amazing, and so is sound. And now there's so many more studies coming out that sound therapy is kind of like one of the best ways to heal, not just spiritually, but also on a physical level.
On a physical level. And we can see that it's funny because Ibiza, the island, has this connection, right?
Yeah.
You have this history of music, the nightclubs where people dance to music. Okay.
We'll meditate to music now.
So Ibiza actually has this background since many years. And what I like about also sound and music as healing, it's a way in also for people that maybe are not yet so much on the spiritual journey, but open to it. So sound healing, working with that, is very accessible for them.
And I mean, that's kind of how I started. Like, I love the sound journeys, and I meditate, but like not as consistently as you do. But I go to sound healings religiously, and I think it really lifted me in many, many ways, like between work and between life. And if you're having a stressful moment and you go and you zen out for an hour, it's like so much in your body and psyche resets. And I think it's really, really super cool that more and more people are realizing that your cells rewire themselves every time you're in the sound journey. I think I even recorded something how much of an impact it made on me. And it's really cool that now you're adding that with your everything that you do.
Yeah, I honestly feel like, I mean, you asked before also about the process of coaching. I think sound healing or any healing journey has different layers to it. It may be that one day you feel amazing, super high energy after it, and it may be another day that it brings up emotions that were stuck somewhere, and you are crying and you're releasing these emotions.
Moon cycles.
So it can vary, and everything is happening at the right time for your body. Everything that needs to happen in that moment is happening.
Right.
Yeah. And what I love that you have this other side of music where we even went to concerts together where actually there was no alcohol even allowed. It was just the music, the people enjoying the music, even bringing their kids and their dogs because it felt so safe. And that was one of the most incredible experiences.
And all ages, really. Yeah.
All ages. Yeah. So I'm very grateful that you introduced me to this world, Mariana, because I feel it honestly, it brought me to another level of my spiritual journey, having this access of these profound healers and talented people on this island and the energy of the island. It felt like if I look at pictures of myself or even of both of us, actually.
You give me some of the best compliments. You're like you've upgraded so much in the last year or two since we met. And I'm like, well, I'm glad this is progressing, but like, thank you for noticing.
I feel your energy is also, it feels like so much more stable now. Like no, it feels
I'm an
really
Aries,
good.
so yeah.
It's like
it's a work in progress for sure.
And even if I look at pictures of the both of us when we met versus now, I feel like there's this glow up that happened. Yes. Like this, when you heal from within and your essence is there and you're doing what you're meant to do, then I feel you have this inner glow.
You're lighter, you're brighter,
You're shining from within.
Inner glow.
And I remember how I came back from Ibiza and one of my friends from back home, she's like, oh, you're glowing. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And actually, this is how the Ibiza Glow, the idea of that came to life.
Well, me, yes, when you return, but even I would send photos and I didn't think I looked particularly great in them. And I would get feedback from my friends that, oh, no, you should keep staying there.
Please stay on the island.
Yeah, like you have the glow. We wanted to introduce you to Joy so you get the full picture.
That's
how they
Joy.
are one family. But what I wanted to mention is what I find so cool and inspiring also that now we have this glow even when we're not on the island. And I think that transcends when you have the right alignment of energy. Like I still glow when I'm in Miami for the next however long I'm there or wherever I am. I think as you become spiritually lighter, you find the inner glow and you can take it anywhere you are in the world.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's very right what you're saying. And
that's what we want to share. That's why we're doing this podcast.
That's why we are doing that.
Yeah.
And
it's possible. It's a little bit of a process, but it's so cool and so inspiring and so good. And you feel so bright and light. And I love that we're doing this together.
Yeah, I feel like this island has also like the energy of attracting so many amazing people in this field of healing that it's so much easier to access it.
Yeah.
And I'm
like, if you want to do the work, you're in the right place.
And
right
honestly,
here.
If I was to say one of your superpowers, it's really like connecting people. It's like magical how you always bring the right people together.
Thank you.
Like what is happening through that is profound healing and it's inspiration where new projects and ideas are emerging. Yeah. So tell me, Mariana, how do you do that?
I'm like Nokia. Always connecting people.
Inventing.
No, but that was a joke at one of my birthdays many, many years ago. I don't know if Nokia is still around actually. But that was part of the toast of like, cheers to Mariana. She's always connecting people. And someone asked me if I'm connecting people or I'm connecting with people. And I always thought that like, I just like putting good people together when I know that they will energetically match and kind of, add to each other's lives. But I guess I'm also good at connecting with people. Because even from childhood, I would see someone and I was like, I'm going to be friends with that girl. And really like instantly we become best friends. Wasn't very common, wasn't very often, but I do remember I had this intuition, and I don't even know why I said hi to you, but I guess we were the only people there, and maybe I was seeking a reason to stay.
I don't know how we started talking, but
I said hi, and I was
you
like,
said hi.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
nice.
by the way, what are you doing?
What
How long
do
are
you
you
do?
staying? Like, seems like we're on a similar path, and we're the only two people in these two classes at Seven Pines. So yeah, and then I guess we realized we're more alike than we thought, even though we come from completely different backgrounds and spheres and like life. But it brought a beautiful friendship. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for kind of like guiding me as well. And I think we have connected a lot more people since then in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I love how every person coming on this island that you introduce to the magic of it keeps on coming back and wanting to stay longer. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they discover the other side that's so unexpected and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's so much of it here.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of it. And on this, at the same time, if you're not aware to what places to
Yeah.
go and what people
Yeah.
to connect, it's a bit underground. It's not that you find this one website where,
Hello, my
this is
friend.
your spiritual like guide to Ibiza or the other side
Yeah.
of Ibiza. So therefore, I also believe in the power of our podcast,
Right.
of
Well,
bringing these
yeah.
people like, or giving them, making them more accessible to everyone.
That's why I wanted to do this really, because I think if you're seeking this, it should be more publicized. And, there's certain places that are being super promoted, which is fine, which is great. Like, I love music, I love dancing. But if you want to do something for your soul, then the impact it had on me, I want to share it with the world. And the impact it had on you in only 2 years. Like, I've been coming here for longer, and not to say that it's been a long journey, but like, the pieces keep coming together, and I'm very grateful for that. But if within 1 to 2 years you can completely change your life, then everyone that's looking for that, we want to share it. And that's what we're doing here. And if you want a coaching session with Sandra, we'll tag her Instagram because she's made a big impact on me. And if I can help connect someone with you, then it's definitely my pleasure. And please reach out. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. Let us know.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for this journey we're doing together.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. And see you soon. From Ibiza with love.